Please, you have to believe me. They told me it was just a myth, a bedtime story whispered in the old villages to keep children from wandering into the deep wetlands at night. They called it a gorgle, but I know what I saw. I barely escaped with my life, and the memory of it still keeps me awake, staring into the dark, listening for the sound of wet, heavy footsteps. It happened last autumn. I was hiking near the edge of the northern marshes, trying to catch the last rays of sunset for some photographs. I lost track of time. By the time the fog started rolling in, thick and suffocating, the sun had already dipped below the horizon. The woods became an unfamiliar maze of shadows and gnarled roots. That's when the silence hit. No crickets, no night birds. Nothing. Just the heavy, rhythmic squelch of something moving through the mud nearby. I froze, hiding behind the wide trunk of an old willow tree. I clicked off my flashlight, praying the darkness would hide me. Through the dense fog, I saw it emerge. It didn't walk like a man or a beast. It shifted. The gorgle was a towering, shifting mass of decay, woven from rotting vegetation, black mire, and pale, calcified bones that didn't belong to any animal I recognized. But the worst part was its face, or lack thereof. Where a head should have been, there was only a hollow, cavernous split that dripped with stagnant water. Inside that cavity, two dim, sickly yellow embers glowed, locking right onto the tree I was hiding behind. It knew I was there. A sound came from it, not a roar, but a wet, rattling gasp, like a drowning man trying to breathe. The stench hit me next, a suffocating wave of old death and swamp gas that made my eyes water. I panicked. I broke into a run, stumbling over roots and sinking knee-deep into the freezing muck. Behind me, the squelch turned into a frenzied, heavy thudding. It was fast. Unnaturally fast for something so bloated and misshapen. I could hear branches snapping and the wet, tearing sound of its body scraping against the brush. I fell. My foot caught a submerged branch, and I went face first into the cold mud. As I scrambled to turn over, I looked up. It was standing right over me, blotting out what little starlight was left. A long, rotted appendage, ending in sharp, calcified points, reached down toward my face. The sickly yellow light from its hollow head cast a terrible glow on my hands. In a desperate, blind instinct, I grabbed my heavy metal flashlight and smashed it upward with everything I had. It struck the creature's hollow core. The yellow embers flared, and it let out a piercing, high-pitched screech that felt like needles in my ears. It recoiled, stumbling back into the deep water. I didn't look back. I scrambled to my feet and ran until my lungs burned, and I finally hit the asphalt of the main road. The sound it made. It wasn't just loud, it was wrong, a biological frequency that felt like glass splintering inside my skull. I didn't check if it was chasing me. Instinct took over. I scrambled. I crawled, clawing at wet rocks and muddy roots, pushing away from that terrible screaming sound and the smell of the abyssal water. I don't know how long I ran through the blind, cold brush, tripping, failing, getting back up. I only know that the next sound I heard wasn't water or screaming. It was a car. I'm safe now, in my apartment, locked away from the marshes. I've bolted the door, slid the chain into place, and shut every window tight. The morning sun is trying to break through the blinds, casting long, thin lines across my living room floor, but it doesn't bring any warmth. I just sit here on the couch, still wrapped in a blanket, staring at the walls. I can't bring myself to wash the dried mud off my skin yet. Every time I close my eyes, I'm back in that canyon, smelling the stench of stagnant water and old rot. I survived, yes, but my mind is still out there, running through the dark. I keep waiting to hear that heavy, wet squelch right outside my apartment door.